what it showed me is just kind of how on paper this company does not appear to match the astronomical numbers that we are hearing around this IPO. You know, we've reported that they potentially will go public at a $2 trillion valuation or something around there. They want to raise tens of billions of dollars. But when you look at the actual raw numbers, you know, this company seems to be losing money. Its launch business wasn't profitable last year. Now, its Starlink internet business, which provides broadband with its satellite constellation around the Earth, you know, that does seem to be growing. It's growing subscribers. It's bringing in more and more revenue each year. But overall, it does not seem to match, you know, the hype that this IPO has been creating.
Astronomical. I see what you did there. Very clever, very clever. But I found this so interesting because, yeah, to your point, you know, targeting a $2 trillion valuation. But when you look at the prospectus, it's the unsexier parts of the company that are doing really well, like Starlink. So are they pivoting at all? Are they leaning into that? Are they still focused on the big shiny space objects when they go to potential stockholders, investors, and say, like, give us this money, this is what we're worth?
I think what a lot of people have noticed, and what I also noticed about this, which is bizarre for me as somebody who's been covering SpaceX for so long, is that SpaceX appears now to be all in on AI. It's more of an AI company than it does seem to be a space company. Now, that being said, its space component is, you know, extremely valuable and important for what it wants to do with this AI sector, right? It's been talking about launching up to 1 million AI data centers in space. And the way that you do that is through launch. So that is still a really critical part of its mission and what it needs to do in order to achieve all of these aspirational goals. And then at the same time, its Starlink business is the one that is proving that it can actually make money from a large constellation of satellites in space. So I think that will ultimately still continue to grow and help to supplement, you know, a lot of these big aspirational goals. But at the same time, it's very clear that the launch part of the business is not the big moneymaker. Still, it's extremely valuable for what they want to do.
Big question here is what this means for the man behind this company, for Elon Musk, and all of the whispers that he'll be the world's first trillionaire. Again, going back to what was filed this week, what did we learn about his compensation, what he's how he's likely to profit or make out from this this IPO when it happens?
Right. So I think that he's, you know, his big pay package is tied to probably one of the most amazing goals you could possibly have as a CEO, which is this idea that you'll get paid when we have up to 1 million residents on a Mars colony.
1 million residents on Mars.
Yeah, let's just say I'm not sure that is something that Elon will be seeing in his lifetime. I'm happy if you want to bring me back on the show when that is achieved, and I'll say that I'm wrong. I'm happy to do that. That is just an extremely aspirational goal, but you have to admit, you know, this is a prospectus that reads more like science fiction than other prospectuses. So that's fun for us, and it'll be interesting to see just how much they get to that goal moving forward.
But I did want to ask you about that because, I mean, this is serious money and these are serious investors. And when you have someone writing, the other part of that was that he wants a humanity backup plan on this Mars colony, kind of a space ark in case nuclear winter or something happens. I mean, does that frighten investors at all? Like, yes, it's fun and aspirational, but if this is the focus of the man running this company and not the parts of the company that are actually tangible and making money, does that spark any concern?
I think one thing that you could probably take away from what was in this document is that SpaceX does not appear to be very concerned with what I think other companies would be concerned about, which is showing that they're not making money, you know, showing this extreme CapEx, the capital expenditure that they have. I think what they're banking on is kind of the, you know, cult of personality around Elon and the fact that they have this extremely impressive resume with bringing down launch costs, you know, being an extremely valuable launch provider for commercial, the launch marketplace and the US government and even the world. And so I think what they are banking on is having investors remember that past success and how they've been able to dominate the launch market, dominate the space industry, industry, and hoping that people will want to buy in because of that past success and see them replicate that moving forward. So I think if you're going to invest in SpaceX now, it's not because you're hoping to have these short-term gains, in the next year or even in the next 5 years. I think what you're doing now is you're saying, I'm going all in on Elon Musk's vision, and because of what he's achieved in the past, I think he can do it again in the future, and I want to be along for that ride.
So critical to what Elon Musk is proposing there, or the company's proposing they're getting all these people to Mars, is this Starship rocket. Talk about the importance of that to the launch side of the business, figuring out a way to get this to launch reliably in a way that it hasn't been able to so far.
Right. Well, I think you'll notice that in their prospectus, one of their top risk factors is Starship. And like I said earlier, while launch appears on paper to be a small part of this business, is extremely important to what they want to do next. And Starship is basically the backbone of all of these future ambitions. They want to launch these data centers into space. They have to be able to launch on Starship. They want to launch larger versions of their Starlink satellites. Those are specifically designed to launch on Starship. Also, their future direct-to-cell satellites, which connect to unmodified smartphones, they also have to launch on Starship. And so what they detail in their filing is that if Starship doesn't work or if it's majorly delayed, that's going to have a huge ripple effect on all of these major programs. So Starship has to work. They've designed it. They've made it on the critical path for all of their success. And so it has to work in order for all of these things to happen. And so, again, launch may seem small, but in the end, it's the key pivotal point for their future.
Loren Grush, thank you very much. You're welcome back anytime before or after Elon Musk gets 1 million people to Mars. Happy to have you on anytime.
Yeah, if you want to zoom in from Mars,
Anytime.
that's also fine. Just let us know.
Yeah, no, I'll take the moon, maybe not Mars.
There we go.